Assalamu alaikum. Today, we're exploring a topic that resonates deeply with many young Muslim women: the pressure to marry young. This issue, often rooted in tradition and love, can shape emotions, decisions, and futures in profound ways. Through the stories of different women, we'll uncover the challenges they face, weigh the pros and cons of marrying young, and address modern obstacles like the difficulty of finding suitable partners. Finally, we'll build a comprehensive guide to help navigate this pressure with faith, clarity, and confidence. Let's begin with Fatima, a 22-year-old engineering student from a close-knit family. When her parents arranged a meeting with a potential suitor, she felt her dreams slipping away. The man seemed kind and respectful, but Fatima's heart wasn't ready. She was determined to complete her degree and establish a career first. She spent countless nights in tears, wrestling with guilt, wondering if refusing made her disobedient or ungrateful to her family's wishes. After months of heartfelt dua and istikhara, she found the strength to speak openly with her parents. The conversation was tense, filled with misunderstandings at first, but over time, they began to see her perspective. They agreed to let her focus on her studies, keeping marriage as a future goal rather than an immediate step if she was not mentally ready for it. Her story shows the emotional toll of this pressure, but also the power of perseverance and faith. Then there's Sarah, who married at 19 under strong encouragement from her family. Everyone around her believed it was the ideal age, citing cultural norms and the idea that younger brides adapt more easily. Trusting their judgment, she entered the marriage with hope and a sense of duty. But within a year, she felt an overwhelming void. She cared deeply for her husband, yet realized she hadn't had the space to discover herself, her passions, her strengths, or even her personal goals. She struggled with the responsibilities of marriage while feeling she'd missed out on personal growth, often confiding in friends that she wished she'd waited just a little longer to understand her own identity before becoming a wife. Sarah's experience highlights how marrying young can sometimes lead to challenges of readiness beyond just age or societal expectations. Another sister, Layla, is 27 and still unmarried, facing a different kind of scrutiny. At community events, she overhears whispers labeling her as too picky or overly focused on her career as a graphic designer. Despite the judgment, Layla remains steadfast. Having built a small online business, she feels content and spiritually grounded, often volunteering at her local masjid. She believes marriage will come when the time is right, not because of a deadline imposed by others. Her confidence is inspiring, proving that waiting doesn't equate to failure, and that personal fulfillment can coexist with the desire for a halal partnership. Layla's journey shows resilience against societal pressure and a deep trust in Allah's plan. Lastly, consider Maryam, who at 24 faced relentless questions at family gatherings about when she'd settle down. Her parents, worried about her future, frequently hinted at rishtas, bringing up potential matches almost weekly. Though she valued their concern, Maryam was pursuing a master's degree in social work and wanted to contribute to her community through charity initiatives before considering marriage. The emotional toll was heavy. Feeling torn between filial duty and personal aspirations left her anxious and drained. Through consistent prayer and an open dialogue with a trusted aunt who acted as a mediator, she negotiated a balance. She agreed to consider proposals, but only after completing her degree and setting up her career foundation. Mariam's story underscores the importance of communication and finding middle ground amidst family expectations. Before we move to solutions, let's weigh the pros and cons of marrying young, as these stories touch on both sides of the debate. Marrying at a younger age can have several benefits. On the positive side, it often aligns with cultural and religious encouragement, as marriage is half of one's deen and a means to protect against fitna. Younger couples may have more energy to build a life together, adapt to each other's habits, and grow as a unit. For some, like those in Sarah's community, early marriage brings family support and a sense of stability, especially if both partners are committed to making it work. It can also fulfill parental wishes, fostering family harmony. However, the cons can also be significant if not patched. Marrying young can mean entering a lifelong commitment without full emotional and mental readiness, as Sarah experienced. Personal growth and education might be sidelined, leading to regret or identity struggles. There's also the risk of incompatibility, as younger individuals may not yet know what they truly want in a partner or life, potentially straining the marriage over time. Adding to these challenges are modern obstacles that young Muslim women face when considering marriage, whether early or later. One pressing issue is the difficulty of finding appropriate, compatible men in today's world. With shifting societal norms, many potential suitors may not share the same Islamic values or commitment to faith that a woman prioritizes. The rise of dating culture, even within Muslim communities, can complicate finding someone who respects halal boundaries and seeks marriage over casual relationships. Online matrimonial platforms, while helpful, often present a mixed bag. Some profiles lack seriousness, and cultural differences or family expectations can clash. Additionally, economic pressures mean many men delay marriage themselves, focusing on career stability, leaving fewer options for women who are ready. Urbanization and smaller community networks also reduce traditional matchmaking opportunities, making it harder to find someone trustworthy and aligned in deen and character. These modern realities compound the pressure, as women like Layla and Mariam navigate not just timing, but the very availability of suitable partners. From these stories and realities, we see the pressure to marry young is complex, intertwined with personal readiness, family expectations, and societal shifts. So, how can young Muslim women navigate this challenge? Here's a complete guide, grounded in these experiences and Islamic principles, to help you find your path with confidence and faith. First, reflect deeply on your readiness through self-assessment and dua. Ask yourself, are you emotionally, mentally, and financially prepared for marriage? Marriage is a sacred bond, a completion of half your deen, but it demands maturity and stability. Make istikhara to seek Allah's guidance on timing and decisions. Fatima's story shows how prayer helped clarify her needs. Trust that Allah knows what's best for you, even when the path feels unclear. Second, communicate openly and respectfully with your family. This can be intimidating, as Mariam's experience reveals, but honesty fosters understanding. Approach conversations with humility, explaining your goals, be it education, career, or personal growth, and why you might need time. Share how waiting could make you a stronger, more prepared spouse in the future. If direct talks feel too challenging, involve a trusted family member or elder to mediate, ensuring your voice is heard while maintaining family harmony, as Mariam did with her aunt. Third, Set clear personal goals and boundaries. Layla's confidence stemmed from knowing her worth and purpose outside of marriage. Define what you want to achieve, whether it's completing a degree, building a career, or strengthening your iman, and use these as anchors. Politely but firmly decline pressure that doesn't align with your timeline, remembering that marriage is not a race. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, emphasized compatibility and readiness over haste, so prioritize what prepares you for a lasting union. Fourth, seek knowledge about marriage in Islam. Sarah's regret partly came from not fully understanding her own needs within the framework of a halal partnership. Educate yourself on your rights and responsibilities as a wife through Islamic classes, books, or trusted scholars. Learn about mutual respect, and the spiritual aspects of marriage. This empowers you to make informed choices, ensuring that when you do marry, it's with clarity and conviction, whether at 19 or 29. Fifth, address modern challenges proactively when seeking a partner. Given the difficulty of finding appropriate men, leverage trusted networks like family, masjid communities, or reputable matrimonial platforms that prioritize Islamic values. Be clear about your non-negotiables, faith, character, and shared goals, while remaining open to diversity in background. Attend community events or Islamic conferences where like-minded individuals gather. If options seem scarce, focus on self-improvement in the meantime, trusting that Allah will bring the right person at the right time. Sixth, build a strong support system. Surround yourself with friends, mentors, or community members who respect your journey and can offer advice or simply a listening ear. Fatima found solace in sisters who encouraged her to prioritize her education, easing her burden. Having allies can counteract the emotional weight of societal judgment and remind you that you're not alone in facing these pressures or modern hurdles. Finally, place your trust in Allah's timing. The Quran reminds us in Surah Al-Baqarah 2:216 that sometimes what we dislike may be good for us, and what we desire may not be. Whether you choose to marry young or wait, surrender the outcome to Allah. Layla's peace came from this tawakkul, knowing that her qadr is in His hands, regardless of external pressures or the challenges of finding a suitable match. Navigating the pressure to marry young is a deeply personal journey, as the stories of Fatima, Sarah, Layla, and Maryam illustrate. It's further complicated by modern realities like the scarcity of compatible partners. There's no universal answer, but with reflection, communication, knowledge, and faith, you can make choices that honor both your deen and your dreams. Remember, marriage is a beautiful destination, but the path to it should be walked at your own pace, with Allah as your guide. May we all find strength and wisdom in this test, and may our decisions lead us closer to Jannah. Ameen.